You've tried it all: teas, breathing apps, background music, even sleeping pills. And yet you're still lying awake at 2:17 a.m. staring at the ceiling, wondering what's wrong with your body. You're not stressed like you used to be, you're not overloaded, you're just tired, and the worst part is being tired doesn't mean you'll sleep. As we age, sleep shifts from something effortless to something unpredictable. You might drift off easily some nights, only to jolt awake 2 hours later with no reason at all. Other nights, your body feels like it's shutting down, but your brain refuses to follow. It's frustrating, quiet, and deeply exhausting, not just physically but emotionally too. And if this sounds like you, please know you're not alone and your body isn't broken. What if the problem isn't your sleep, but how your body has forgotten how to fall into it naturally? There's a simple, natural trick that's been helping many older adults reset that rhythm, and it starts with holding just a small mix of 3 familiar ingredients under your tongue before bed. No swallowing, no force, no side effects, just a gentle nudge that tells your nervous system, it's okay now, you can rest. In today's video, I'll walk you through what these ingredients are, how they work, and how this tiny nightly ritual might be the one shift that changes everything. Part 1: Why sleep gets so hard with age. No one ever warns you that one of the hardest parts of growing older is simply staying asleep. You're told to expect gray hair, sore knees, maybe a few memory lapses, but no one talks about how exhausting it is to lie in bed every night, waiting for sleep that used to come so easily. In your younger years, sleep was automatic. You'd push through a long day, hit the pillow, and drift off without even trying. Now, it's different even on days when you do everything right. Eat early, avoid caffeine, turn off the TV, sleep still slips through your fingers. You fall asleep, then wake up for no reason, or you toss and turn until 3 a.m. Your body is tired, but your mind keeps tapping your shoulder like a restless child that won't sit still. This change isn't in your head, it's in your biology. As we age, our internal clock, the circadian rhythm, starts to shift. Melatonin, the hormone that helps signal bedtime, declines. So does serotonin, the mood stabilizer that helps you wind down. And even more quietly, your nervous system becomes less flexible. Instead of gently turning off at night, it stays alert, responding to every creak in the house, every anxious thought, every memory that surfaces when the world goes quiet. But it's not just hormones, it's life. Many older adults live alone, some are grieving, others carry years of responsibility that never fully leave the mind. Even retirement, which we're told will bring peace, often brings a different kind of stress, the stress of silence, uncertainty, or simply too much time to think. And when the lights go out, those thoughts get louder. Sleep becomes a battleground between the body's need to rest and the mind's refusal to let go. Then there's the body itself. Pain from arthritis, trips to the bathroom, medications that disrupt your natural rhythms, it all adds up. And yet the worst part isn't the waking, it's the emptiness that follows. Waking up in the morning and feeling like you never truly rested. You make the coffee, you move through the motions, but deep inside you're running on fumes. And over time, that fatigue isn't just physical, it's emotional. You feel more irritable, more forgetful, less hopeful. You might snap at someone you love or cancel plans just because you don't have the energy to be on. And slowly, quietly, you start to wonder, is this just how it's going to be now? But here's the truth. No, it doesn't have to be. Your body hasn't forgotten how to sleep. It just needs help remembering. Not in the form of sedatives that knock you out and leave you groggy, but in small, gentle ways that speak the language your body still understands: routine, rhythm, safety. Because at its core, sleep isn't something you force, it's something you allow. And when your body feels safe, nourished, and supported, even in the smallest ways, it knows what to do. That's why what we're about to explore isn't just another tip or trick. It's a way to work with your body, not against it. To honor the truth that while aging may change how sleep shows up, it doesn't mean deep, restorative rest is out of reach. You still deserve a night of uninterrupted peace, and your body is still capable of receiving it. Part 2: Why under the tongue, a shortcut to the brain. Sometimes the most powerful changes come from the smallest shifts. Holding something under your tongue for a minute or two doesn't sound like much. It doesn't feel dramatic, it's quiet, almost forgettable. But that's exactly what makes it so effective, especially when it comes to sleep. Because when your body is overstimulated, overtired, and overwhelmed, what it craves isn't more effort, it craves ease, stillness, gentle signals that say, it's okay to stop now. Under your tongue sits one of the most delicate and responsive entry points into your body, the sublingual space. This thin tissue just beneath the tongue is rich with tiny blood vessels that connect directly to your bloodstream. When you place something here, your body absorbs it quickly, quietly, without needing to break it down through the digestive system. No stomach acid, no liver processing, no delay. What you hold there, if chosen well, reaches your nervous system in minutes. That's why medications like heart drugs or CBD oils are often designed for under-the-tongue delivery. It works faster and it works gently. Now think about how that applies to sleep. Most people try to swallow their way to rest, teas, pills, supplements, warm milk. But digestion is a slow, complex process, especially as we age. And when your gut is processing, your body is working. That's not rest, that's effort. Placing a tiny amount of a natural mix under your tongue flips the script. Instead of asking your body to do more, you're giving it a shortcut, one that speaks directly to the brain. And here's the beauty of it. The tongue doesn't just lead to the bloodstream. It's deeply connected to the brain through a web of cranial nerves, tiny information highways that help regulate your heartbeat, breath, and even emotional state. When something calming enters through the tongue, your nervous system gets the message immediately. It doesn't need convincing. It doesn't need to wait 45 minutes for your stomach to break something down. The message arrives early, quietly, and lands where it matters. That's what makes this method so uniquely powerful for older adults. As we age, our systems don't shut down as easily. We don't bounce back from stress the way we used to. And sleep isn't just about physical tiredness. It's about permission. The permission to let go, to release tension, to stop anticipating the next thing. When you hold a calming blend under your tongue, you're not forcing your body to sleep. You're reminding it that the day is over. You're telling your heart, you can slow down now. You're telling your mind, you don't need to solve anything tonight. And you're giving your nervous system exactly what it's been waiting for, a signal that feels safe. There's also something deeply symbolic about this practice. It's not just a trick, it's a ritual, a moment of pause before bed where you choose rest. For so many people, sleep has become something we chase, something we resent, something we try to force. But placing something under your tongue, especially something made from familiar, natural ingredients, is an act of gentleness, of trust, of reclaiming the bedtime rhythm your body once knew. It's worth noting, too, how different this is from sleep medication. Pills often knock you out, they override your body. They don't teach your system how to rest, they simply silence it. That's why so many people wake up feeling foggy, heavy, or worse, dependent. But this is different. Sublingual absorption with natural ingredients doesn't override your system, it invites it to participate. It works with you, not against you. And for those who live alone, who have quiet nights filled with thoughts that linger longer than they should, this method is more than science, it's self-care. It's permission to stop performing, to stop fixing, to stop holding it all together. It's a cue from you to your own body. I'm ready now, you can take over. So yes, it's small, it takes maybe 30 seconds, but don't underestimate what 30 seconds of deep intentional stillness can do, especially when you've gone years without truly feeling rested. Under your tongue lies a doorway, not a magic switch, not a cure-all, but a pathway that leads gently, naturally, back to the rest your body has been trying to find. What comes next is even more important, what goes into that doorway, because the ingredients you hold under your tongue can make all the difference. And in the next part of this video, I'll show you exactly what they are, how they work, and how this blend has helped so many people, just like you finally experience the kind of sleep they thought they'd lost forever. Part 3: the 3 ingredients that bring sleep back. Sometimes what your body needs isn't something new, it's something simple you've overlooked. A familiar ingredient used differently, a forgotten remedy rediscovered. That's exactly what this sleep support blend is built on. 3 ingredients that most people already have in their kitchen, but when combined in a specific way and placed under the tongue, they become something much more powerful than the sum of their parts. Let's start with the first, raw honey. This isn't just a sweetener, it's a biological signal, a gentle nudge to your body's internal systems. When taken before bed, raw honey helps trigger a chain reaction that leads to melatonin production, the very hormone your body uses to regulate sleep. Here's how. The natural sugars in honey gently raise your insulin just enough to help tryptophan, the amino acid linked to sleep and mood, enter the brain. Once inside, tryptophan converts into serotonin, which then becomes melatonin. All of this happens naturally without forcing anything. No crash, no artificial additives. Just your own biology supported by a tablespoon of something real. But honey does more than that. It helps stabilize blood sugar through the night. That matters more than most people realize. One of the most common reasons older adults wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning is mild nighttime hypoglycemia. Your brain senses a drop in glucose and sends out a wake-up call. Raw honey, especially when taken slowly under the tongue, acts like a gentle energy buffer for the brain. It keeps things steady so you stay asleep. Now let's talk about Himalayan pink salt. And before you worry, no, this isn't about adding salt to your diet. The amount used in this sleep mix is tiny, but incredibly purposeful. Unlike refined table salt, Himalayan pink salt is unprocessed and packed with over 80 trace minerals, magnesium, potassium, calcium, and more. These minerals support your nervous system in a way that's subtle but vital. They help balance your electrolytes, relax your muscles, and calm overactive nerves that can keep your brain spinning long after the lights go out. You might be surprised to hear that salt could help with sleep, but think of it this way. Your body is electric. Your heart, your brain, your breathing all run on tiny electrical signals, and those signals depend on minerals to fire smoothly. Without them, things can become irregular, jumpy, restless. A pinch of mineral-rich salt can gently help bring things back into rhythm, especially when it's taken in a way that absorbs quickly and directly. And finally, there's nutmeg, the quiet star of this mix. Most people think of nutmeg as something you sprinkle on eggnog or pie, but in small, precise amounts, it has natural calming properties that have been used for centuries in traditional medicine. The compound inside nutmeg that makes it so unique is called myristicin. It's not a sedative. It won't knock you out, but it does help slow down brain activity, particularly the kind that loops and loops when you're trying to fall asleep. For many older adults, nighttime isn't just about restlessness, it's about racing thoughts, worries, old memories. Nutmeg, when used in moderation, can help quiet that inner noise, not with force but with softness. It's like dimming the lights in your mind, just enough to help your thoughts settle, just enough to let you breathe again. Of course, it's important to note that nutmeg is powerful and should be used carefully. Too much can cause dizziness or discomfort. That's why this mix includes only about 1/10 of a teaspoon per dose, just enough to invite calm, not overwhelm your system. Now, when you combine these three, raw honey, Himalayan salt, and nutmeg, something beautiful happens. You're not just addressing one part of the sleep cycle, you're supporting the full journey. Honey helps your brain begin the transition. Salt helps regulate your body's signals. Nutmeg helps your mind let go. Each plays its part, and together they whisper to your body, you can rest now. What's just as important is what this mix doesn't do. It doesn't knock you out. It doesn't sedate or override your natural rhythm. It simply restores the conditions your body needs to remember how to sleep deeply, gently, and through the night. In the next part of this video, I'll show you exactly how to mix and use these ingredients so it fits easily into your bedtime routine without stress, without mess, and without adding anything unnatural to your life. For now, just know this. The ingredients are simple, but the effect can be life-changing. Part 4, how to use it, a gentle nightly ritual. By now you know that these three ingredients, raw honey, Himalayan pink salt, and a pinch of nutmeg, each carry something powerful. But the way you use them matters just as much as the ingredients themselves. Because what we're creating here isn't just a mix, it's a ritual. A moment before bed that tells your body, your mind, and your nervous system, we're done for today, it's safe to let go. Let's start with how to make the mix. It's simple and takes just a minute. In a small clean jar, combine 5 parts raw honey with 1 part finely ground Himalayan pink salt. Stir it gently until fully blended. Then add just a pinch of ground nutmeg, about 1/10 of a teaspoon for every 5 teaspoons of honey. This is very important. More is not better when it comes to nutmeg. Keep the dose small, gentle, and respectful. Once it's fully mixed, seal the jar and store it in a dry, cool place. That's it. You now have your nightly sleep companion. Now, how and when to take it makes all the difference. About 30 minutes before bed, take half a teaspoon of the mixture and place it under your tongue. Don't chew it, don't swallow it right away. Let it rest there, let it dissolve slowly. The space under your tongue is full of tiny capillaries that absorb what you place there directly into your bloodstream. No waiting for digestion, no interference. Just a gentle, direct signal to your system that it's time to begin the transition to sleep. While the mixture is dissolving, here's the most important part. Do nothing else. This is not the time to scroll your phone or check the news or turn on another episode of something. This is the time to slow down. Turn down the lights. Let your house grow quiet. Let your body grow still. If you like, play soft instrumental music. Light a candle, diffuse a calming scent like lavender. Let the moment feel sacred even if it only lasts 5 minutes. This is your moment and you deserve it. If your home feels too quiet and your thoughts tend to get loud, try this. Sit comfortably and take 5 slow breaths. In through your nose, out through your mouth, nothing fancy. Just notice your breath. Let your mind follow it like a thread. You're not trying to clear your head. You're simply letting it settle like a snow globe that's been shaken and now begins to still. When the mixture under your tongue is gone, let that be your final cue. It's time to lie down, not to chase sleep, but to receive it. Turn off the last light. Let your body stretch into bed without tension. No expectations, no pressure, just rest. Some nights you might drift off in minutes. Others, your body might take its time. That's okay. This isn't about perfect sleep. It's about showing up for rest consistently, kindly, and without fear. And here's something many people miss. What makes this work is not just the ingredients, it's the consistency. The nervous system thrives on rhythm. Your body remembers patterns. So the more you treat this as a nightly ritual, the more your body will recognize the signals and begin to respond. Over time, you'll notice that your breathing deepens faster, your thoughts slow sooner. You start looking forward to this quiet pocket of peace at the end of the day. This ritual isn't meant to fix everything overnight. It's meant to slowly unwind the habits of rushing, of worrying, of lying in bed waiting for rest that doesn't come. You are creating a new rhythm, not just for your sleep, but for your life. And if you miss a night, that's okay too. Be gentle with yourself. This isn't a test, it's a practice. A whisper to your body each evening, I'm here, I care, let's rest together. So now you know how to prepare it, how to use it, and how to turn it into something more than just a remedy. It becomes a message to yourself, one that says rest is no longer something you'll chase, but something you'll welcome. In the next part, we'll talk about what to expect, how long it takes to work, how your body might respond, and how to know if it's helping. But for now, just remember, the work of sleep begins long before your eyes close. And this gentle ritual might just be the softest, kindest place to begin. Part 5, what to expect. Every body is different. If you're like most people, the first question that comes up after trying something new is how long will it take to work? And the honest answer is it depends, not because this method is unreliable, but because your body isn't a machine, it's a story, and every story moves at its own pace. Some people feel a noticeable shift within the first few nights. Maybe they fall asleep faster or stay asleep a little longer, or wake up feeling just a bit more clear. Others take more time. It might take a week or even 2 for your nervous system to start responding to this new rhythm. That's not failure, that's healing. And healing, especially when it comes to sleep, rarely moves in straight lines. What matters most is consistency. The body is wired to respond to signals and patterns. And the more regularly you give it the same cues, the gentle ritual, the ingredients under the tongue, the quiet atmosphere, the more likely it is to recognize this is the time we rest. Think of it like teaching a child how to fall asleep without a nightlight. It takes patience, repetition, and above all, kindness, and kindness is key. Because for many older adults, sleep struggles don't just come from biology, they come from years of built-up frustration, resentment, and fear. Fear that you'll never sleep deeply again. Fear that something is wrong with you. Fear that aging means giving up peace. But that's not the truth. Your body hasn't forgotten how to rest. It just needs time to relearn what safety feels like. This ritual isn't forcing rest, it's creating the conditions where rest becomes possible again. You might wonder, can I stop taking sleep medication and only use this instead? That's a very personal decision and one that should always involve your doctor. This blend is not a drug, it doesn't knock you out. But for many people, it's become a gentle tool that helps them reduce dependence on pills over time. If that's your goal, move slowly, track how you feel. Let your doctor know what you're trying. Your long-term health matters more than quick wins. And what if you live with conditions like high blood pressure or diabetes? Should you be cautious? Yes, but not afraid. The amounts of salt and honey used here are small, and when taken mindfully, most people tolerate them well. But everyone's health story is different. If you're on medication or managing chronic conditions, always check in with a healthcare professional before starting any new nightly habit, no matter how natural it seems. There's one more thing worth saying: you don't need perfect sleep for it to be healing. Sometimes the biggest shift isn't sleeping 8 hours straight, it's falling asleep without fear. It's waking up without panic. It's getting through the day with a little more lightness in your chest, a little more presence in your conversations, a little more hope when the sun sets. That's the kind of rest we're talking about here, not just hours, but peace. So what can you expect? Expect your body to respond gradually. Expect a few good nights and a few hard ones. Expect your emotions to soften. Expect sleep to feel less like a battle and more like an invitation. And above all, expect yourself to show up with care, with patience, with quiet trust that you're doing something good for your body even when results take time. This journey is not about fixing what's wrong, it's about rebuilding your relationship with rest. And that begins with the smallest decision: to pause, to care, to try again tonight. In the final words of this video, I'll share a gentle reminder to carry with you. But for now, hold this truth close. There is still a version of you that sleeps deeply, wakes gently, and moves through the day with ease. That version is still in you. And tonight might just be one small step closer to finding it again. If you've made it this far, it means something inside you still believes that rest is possible. And that belief matters, because when it comes to sleep, especially in this stage of life, it's not just about science, it's about hope. It's about giving yourself the care and softness you've likely spent years giving to others. What we talked about in this video wasn't magic, it wasn't a fix. It was a return to rhythm, to ritual, to the small cues that tell your body you are safe now. And in that safety, your nervous system begins to soften, your breath slows, your thoughts quiet, and your body miraculously, naturally remembers how to rest. The mix we explored, raw honey, Himalayan pink salt, and a touch of nutmeg, isn't a solution, it's a support. It doesn't override your body, it reminds it. It says you don't have to push anymore, you can come home to yourself now. And maybe tonight, you won't fall asleep in 5 minutes. Maybe it will take time, but you're planting something deeper than sleep. You're building trust, you're shifting your relationship with rest from force to invitation. And that shift, that's where real healing begins. To you watching this from your quiet room, maybe alone, maybe tired in a way that feels hard to explain, thank you. Thank you for being here, for being willing to listen, to try something new, to show up for yourself with care. That is not small, that is everything. So tonight, as you move towards sleep, I hope you hold this one thought close. I don't have to earn rest, I already deserve it. May your evening be soft, may your mind feel safe, and may you wake tomorrow not just rested, but a little more whole. Sleep well, you deserve it.